Going on, folks? Stobe the Hobo with the first episode of 2016. Hopefully about to get underway. What we're going to be trying to do here is head east out of Denver to Chicago with some possible stops on the way. As maybe you can imagine, this city is being choked out by millennial hipster 420 friendly dreck, which means it's definitely time to get out of here. We've got this apparent Denver-Chicago double stack train, and I don't see a crew on there. Obviously, I'm not excited about the fact that it's day out here. I thought maybe the train might pull out before dawn's early light here on this Memorial Day weekend, but basically what we're looking at, we're gonna have to wait until it starts moving and then go through this hole. Very convenient hole. And look what we have here. Peering safely from my safe vantage point. Got a crew pulling in. The crew is here. It's gonna be time to rock very soon. Hop on pop. If you notice, you've also got this cop shop through here. Those are all Denver police. All those cars in there. I'm not worried at all about that, but obviously if they call, it's not gonna take very long for the cops to get here. That's the main point of that. So I'd like to point out the bull, this is the train. If there's any train they're gonna watch, it's gonna be this one. This is the hottest train out of Denver. But the fortunate thing is that on this side of the track here, there's no place where the bull can drive his car. Going on board the train. I definitely am very sure the guys in the engine did not see me get on, or anybody else. That said, it's always unnerving when you're creeping through the yard at this speed. See that worker vehicle scanning the train right there. Definitely good to be in this 48. Totally out of sight. There's the yard office right there. Ocean stacks, accompanied by a ton of F&JB Hunt 53 containers. So it's Memorial Day weekend. Just like to pay my respects to all our fallen soldiers. And I think a good way to do that is to remain free. Denver National Western Complex. All the pens are empty. These are only full of animals in January, I'm pretty sure. Things are looking up. I don't see any other obstacles to being out of Denver very soon. Once again, this is a convenient place if you're gonna get run over. They just pull you off the tracks and put you right into the grave. Memorial Day weekend. There you go, that's them. Those are the guys say thank you to. currently passing through Ray, Colorado. Yeah, so being in eastern Colorado, we still got just mostly grasslands. Once we hit Nebraska and get a little deep into Nebraska, we'll give way to the corn. There you go, the train and myself, along with it, are pulling into McCook, Nebraska, which is the first food change east of Denver. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get off, just walk around, see what's going on in town. I've got enough time, I don't need to just go direct to Chicago. It looks pretty pleasant. A lot of horses and cattle and farm animals hanging out. And here we've got the westbound. It's about 1:30 and you've got the westbound Chicago Denver pulled in here ready to rock. So if you're in McCook, mid-afternoon is when these trains show up. Pretty decent spot here next to the tracks. You could definitely camp without any kind of issue, it looks like. So there are some guys who ride trains who basically they don't mind, and maybe they're even glad if you can see them and smell them from half a mile away. That's fine, whatever, but I mean, I recommend bringing an extra set of clothes so that you can go hang out in the town and not draw any attention to yourself. So this is McCook, Nebraska, and as I imagine, there's not a lot going on here right now, but honestly, not a lot going on is just what I was interested in after being in Denver, where basically every millennial pothead has descended on the state for the weed thing. So it's a nice break out here to just be out in these plains. You got a train yard, you got a couple businesses, you got a lot of ag stuff going on, and that's really nice. Obviously this would become suicidally boring if you were to stay here more than probably 2 days, but I've just been here about an hour. What's going on? Stobe the Hobo is still here in McCook, Nebraska. And I will say it's definitely starting to lose its luster. Definitely starting to get boring. And I could definitely see that this could be one of those places where you really regret getting off the train. So the situation is that tomorrow is Sunday and this is Memorial Day weekend. So those are two factors that can make getting another train east or west, for that matter, extremely difficult out of here. This could be a view that I'm going to be looking at for days, and it's starting to sink in here. But another issue that has to be pointed out is there's only one train on this line that's going to get you to Chicago. You could ride the junk or the general manifest train, but I'm not sure about that past Lincoln. And at Lincoln, there's junctions. So, I mean, you could get on something out of Lincoln going east, but you're not sure that the train is going to go to Chicago, or it may make a north fork. There's a fork there. You know, and I mean, just to add a little bit more about this, I mean, there may be a lot of folks who think this is some glorious lifestyle. I mean, I just got to tell you, it isn't. You got tick-infested woods here where you can camp out. So, okay, you save money on a hotel room, but you get Lyme's disease. You've got the possibility of being marooned in this town for a seriously long time. You've got the fact that nobody in this town ever walks anywhere, which means that you walking around town, no matter how clean cut you try to look, you're going to stand out immediately, because this is one of those places where everybody's got a Dodge Ram and nobody walks anywhere. So guaranteed, I'm already like in the register of the cops and like half the residents here. So our culinary choices for McCook is going to be Casey's Pizza, and I just got a Coors Light because I already drank a heavier style beer earlier. I'd like to say that Casey's Pizza is really solid quality for pretty much any pizza, and I mean it's Casey's stores, they're just in the Midwest. I mean, this is, if you taste this pizza, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. It's better than Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's. One definite positive attribute is you've got the beer store that also sells pretty good pizza just right here. That's the tracks. Just on the other side of those trees. Well, not surprisingly, there's absolutely zero going on here for nightlife, even though it's Saturday. Well, it appears this is going to do it for McCook. We've got this eastbound General Manifest train has just rolled in. It's sometime in the very darkest hours of the night. Overall, this is definitely a worthwhile stop to get off the train. You've got reliable one-a-day double stacks that come pretty much, you know, in the same time window, mid-afternoon, going each direction. In addition to other trains, you've got pretty close proximity to beer. You know, this is a very, very laid-back setting here. I mean, so as I suspected, the train is going to go into the Lincoln yard now. I was hoping this was going to bypass the yard and go to Galesburg. I could just stay on, but basically what that means is shortly I'm going to need to bail off. Even though we're way out here, it doesn't look like there's anything. Lincoln is just around a couple more corners. It's been a nice ride across southern Nebraska for the last 6 hours. Sign that you're almost in the Lincoln yard. You see I-80 up here. And I think you can see a train leaving the yard on another spur. The track up to Alliance, Nebraska over there. It's a very reasonable area. This is what it looks like just right before the yard. Time to bail. It's the camera case. There's my pack. Climb down. Safely off the train here in Lincoln. Definitely a very quiet day here at the west end of the Lincoln yard. So I'd like to point out a few things here. First of all, you got this split right here. Anything pulling out and going up that one over there, that's going to Alliance, Nebraska. And you know, if it's a coal empty, it's going to the mines. There's one freight a day that runs up there at least, which is a Kansas City to Pasco train. Basically here, I don't know how to ID any of the trains in the yard as far as the freights. You've got to just wait out here somewhere at this junction, and it looks like they're going slow enough. This coal empty is taking the split to the north, heading up to the mine through Alliance, Nebraska and Chilton. Just gonna walk in. I've never been hassled before walking through here. There's a little road next to the yard that may or may not be private property. We'll find out. Still under here after 3 years on that trip. Some other decent tags in here. It's nice to see that people are respectful. I mean, this looks like you could wipe it off with a washcloth, but people have been nice here. There's the train I came in on right here, this one with the tankers. So just to explain the situation, this is the east edge of the yard. Here, you got this split. So anything going to the left is going either Chicago or Sioux Falls, or sorry, Sioux City. That split is a ways out of town, so you can't really be sure which way you're gonna go at that split. Now here, any of these are going to KC. So if you're trying to get to KC and you see a slow moving train pulling through here, pretty much guaranteed KC. I don't think there's any splits down that direction. So this is Lincoln, and upon arriving here, I mean, maybe there was this day and age where you can show up on a train with your pack and find some kind of scene. There's something interesting going on in towns like this, like back in the 50s and 60s with all those hitchhiker beatnik guys. But whatever the case is, that's definitely not going on here. There's nothing going on here at all. Maybe it's just because it's the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend, that's possible. But I'm getting fatigued carrying around this pack. It's hot. This place just seems basically deserted and miserable. So I'd say if you don't have to get off in Lincoln, I'd just recommend riding through.